I did go live earlier on my phone, but I was given like a certain amount of days that I am actually able to utilize TikTok Studios, which is on a PC. I don't know if it's on the phone. Um, so invite another creator to co-host for more attractive live content. Okay, so when I was live earlier, I did have a lot of people try to have me be a co-host, and I didn't understand how that worked. Um, like I said, this is like the first official day that I've been consistently streaming through TikTok, through Twitch, through now YouTube. And like I said, I'm going to be thinking more like a bot farm where I'm going to have multiple sources recording live with different angles. So this way I have real time um, creation instead of just, static creation like I've been saying. Because now I'm live on TikTok also, as well as I'm live on Twitch on my phone. So I'm multi streaming right now. Um, and so when you're trying, what they're trying to do, like I said, is pull the information live, as much live background information, because that's what they're looking at. They're looking at all of this data, right? Um, and so you're going to want to put your everything in that. So, uh, like I said, as far as like trying to make sure that like your brand content information or your link tree or your like your QR codes and stuff like that are all active and they're live at all times from every angle, not just what you would have normally have done before, but now you have to think outside the box. You have to do your own individual thing and utilize that part of your brain to benefit you as well as whoever else everywhere. So um, I don't know, why is this little live box over here? This is weird. I guess this is Unschooling too. That was weird. It like separated the comment section from the actual uh, like live. That's weird. Like you can move around the comment section in studios, and it's totally interchangeable as far as the backgrounds. Also, one thing that I did really like was the fact that you can do vertical as well as horizontal layouts for most of social media now, especially through live streaming. Um, uh, so, yeah. For those of you that were on my TikTok this morning, you got to see me do my makeup and stuff. And for those of you who were on my Twitch, you got to see me do my hair. um, and so we're going to continue forward what we would normally do in an everyday stream. Join me if you like. If not, then I hope you have a wonderful day. Um, but we're going to go ahead and get into the Tasty Tuesdays meal planning and order, um, which is basically like doing an inventory of your kitchen, making sure that you are aware of everything that's in there, and that way you can go ahead and meal plan the month or however long it takes for you to order for. So this way, when your time for your actual order, which we're not doing one this month, but um, when it comes time to your order, you already have all that stuff ready. Now I know a lot of you can just speak it and it comes into existence, right? Meaning like you can talk to some kind of AI bot that can assist you in your grocery order listing. You use it however you want to. As for me, I'm pen and paper. So I have just downloaded or opened up the Google access on my phone for the first time, and I don't even know how to use that either. So um, I'm really enjoying the transition over to the digital world as far as like the multi-streaming and the social medias and stuff like that, as well as any kind of background administration kind of stuff, because that's what I'm into. So, um, but you know, um, just trying to keep up with all that stuff is really hard. So, um, and so for me to be able to go in and do this and keep it efficient for us, or back in the day when I used to do it for the kids and stuff like that, it it always helped me to be able to just go ahead and do the inventory and then make the meal plan and then order. Because if I just did an inventory and then made an order, then I'm gonna buy stuff that I may or may not actually need or use or whatever, right? A lot of times we hurry up and just go grab something real quick. Some people, have to go to the food box and get whatever they give and just try to figure out something from that. So it's a very wide variation of topic conversations that I do cover, and I do try to think about every angle that people are living, because everyone's quality of life is different. So, I try to keep it as general as possible, but unfortunately, even in my own ignorance, I am limited in knowledge. So, remember that we're all human beings and that none of us are perfect. So, although we may think we are, um, just try to, keeping up with yourself and keeping yourself accountable for it. So, I do have a PDF that I am currently working in, that will be available hopefully by the end of the year. I wanted it to be by the end of the month. I have a feeling it's not going to be. I just keep adding stuff to it and like finding new ways of making it better, and I'm kind of getting in my own way. So, thank you for joining my live, by the way. Unschooling is not your regular everyday type of thing, and to each their own. However you do it is best for you. Then kudos. Um, and I understand that there's rules and laws and regulations and all of this. Nevermore Academy is actually an accredited school through the state of North Carolina. So it's a homeschool, and it is live. So I have that ability to be able to say at a baseline that this is a legitimate thing. So, um, so I hope you enjoy that. What was I getting ready to do? I forgot now. Dang it. Oh yeah, no play. So PDF, going into, right now I have it in Canva. I am looking to move that to other platforms as well, so this way you guys have more access for it. But for right now, I just have that. And since I unplugged my printer to go live on TikTok, I can't print it out. But I do already have a copy of the meal plan and the inventory in my book, and we'll have it available in the PDF form. So this way you guys can keep up with it. And again, this is very basic. You guys can Frankenstein it however you want to. But I personally have my own book, my master book, so to speak, and it is very detailed. It's very, depending on where you're coming in this at and what level that you're needing. I'm wanting to be able to cover as many of those as I can, and have it in a smooth transition, so this way you can actually have it to where you can do this and it's not chaos, right? So, or try to. And again, it's going to keep changing because that's just, evolution is part of life. So, and I hope that you do keep changing and learning and growing as you go. I am not I do not have a degree of any kind. I was lucky to graduate high school. I have a fourth grade math level. Uh, I currently am 43 and do not know how to do basic math. And I don't know how I was able to get into corporate for automotive IT, with that lack of knowledge, but I did. Um, so, they always say, like, super smart people are stupid in, like, the most simplest ways. Sorry, it's just the downfall. So, everybody has that 1% of error in all of us, and, that's just part of my 1% of error. And I'm still working on it. And again, everything that is your weakness is your starting point. You can only go up from there, right? So you already know your weaknesses. Write them down and start working on them. That's all you can do. Get better. if your weakness is your lowest point, you can only get better from there. So try your best every day to work a little bit on yourself as well as whatever it is that you're doing. So, oh, okay. So, for some reason, this didn't. Alright, it's detected that the live chat didn't appear on your screen in the past 2 minutes. Try using a mobile device to view comments from your live chat and performance in real time. I see you guys joining. I don't see any chat. So, um, so welcome. Anyway, I don't know what the deal is with that. If y'all want to put like a little emoji or something in the chat, just so I know if it's working or not. But I did start using TikTok Studio, and this is new for me, so bear with me. Um, the alerts are supposed to be locked, so I think that when I unlocked it to do the screen, the designing and everything like that all around it, I think I may have accidentally messed up the alerts on it. So, I think I can't lock it once I'm live. I don't know if I can. I'm going to try to. But for those of you who are able to go live in the studio, just be aware that there's some things in the background that if you don't know how to use it, it might alter some things a little bit. I didn't realize that it did that. So, there it is. Okay. There we go. I don't know if that moved the screen for y'all or not, or if you guys can even still see me. For some reason, before I went live, and I think I read it out loud, that you were not able to change it once it's live. So, if you do go into TikTok Studio and you try to go live for the first time, and you try to move some stuff around, it might mess with it if you don't relock it before you go live. So, little tip there, first time user, little feedback for TikTok. Um, and it is possibly my fault, user error. um, so we'll see, but I think that for the most part, it's overall just okay. I don't know what's going on right now. There we go. Okay. So let me stop messing with that. Going into Canva, there's the home tree, closing that out, TikTok, close that out, resources. I want to keep the resources open. Always check resources in your area. You never know what you're capable of being, eligible for. So, as well as this week is Prime Week. So for those of you who are Amazon Prime members, if you missed out on the $1 off per gallon the 3rd through the 6th, now is Prime Week. So go ahead and jump on that while you can. I'm pretty sure there's other avenues that you can look into also for Amazon or for whatever other social media platform that's out there right now that has deals and stuff like that. I think TikTok has like a big deal going on right now too. If you guys need codes, sometimes I can give you guys codes. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. My computer actually is the one that gives me the codes to utilize on each one of these websites. So they work great. If not, whatever, run with it. Check out the About Me section in my Twitch, because I'm live on Twitch as well as TikTok right now, and multi-streaming through different platforms, as well as having different kinds of social media. My link tree does give you the information. Y'all feel free to check that out. Amazon is my affiliate link is the first one if you want to utilize that. If you haven't signed up for Prime yet, go ahead. Utilize my link if you want to. I do get a small kickback for your sign up, and that would help me out greatly too. So feel free to do that. For those of you who are already Prime members, absolutely use my link to buy all your junk, because I need the money. So, but yeah, it doesn't take anything out. It doesn't charge you anything extra for me being an affiliate. It's part of the process, and commissions. For those of you who are on TikTok, y'all know all about commissions now. Let's see. So I did add as many things as I possibly could, as far as thank you for as far as being able to monetize all my social medias. So I am personally requesting all of you to kind of like go check them all out and add me. I've been stuck at 3,000 at least on TikTok for a long time now, and I've also been stuck at a very low level on most of the other social medias as well. Even though I've been streaming for 5 years, I've been on content for 5 years. I don't know why I'm like blacklisted on everything. I can't get a job. No one will hire me. I've been looking for work from home, but none of them have actually contacted me back. I don't know if it's because of my background and my history, or if it's just because of the way of the world today. I don't know. But I have not had any luck in that. Feel free to check out my LinkedIn also if you are someone that has a work from home opportunity for me. So until then, or until I get sponsored, hint hint, uh, by anybody at this point, then don't say anybody because you might get negative access. Anyway, so remember when you ask for abundance, that it always comes in positive as well as negative. So be prepared for that, as well as being requesting of the ability to handle said abundance. So when you guys go viral, your whole world's going to change, and you're going to get to see the behind the scenes of all of that. Are you ready to handle that for the long term? All of you want success. You want to become popular. You want to become famous. You want to do all of these things. But what are the steps that you need to take after you get there? Okay? Think about that. Think of it as if you already got it. You've already become famous. You're already viral. You're already in everybody's face at all times, right? You are now a household name. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? What are your next steps once you get it? Don't think of, oh, well, if I get it one day. No. You've got it right now. You have every single opportunity right in front of you right now at all times. You just don't see it yet. I want you to open your eyes and see it. I want you to be able to grab a hold of those opportunities when they come across your 6-foot bubble of peace that we've all been kind of enforced on for the past, I don't know, 5 years. Right? 6 feet of space, right? You have a little white bubble around you. You only allow those inside the bubble of your little peaceful space, of the ones that can fit in there, which are the ones that make your bubble rise up into the ethers of the tomorrow, right? So, and the other ones that weigh you down, kick them to the curb. Get rid of that. Cut it out. So, keep going. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep being authentic every single day. Authenticity is the highest level of frequency that there is in this world. And we need it. We, as a collective, need you to be as authentic as possible. Okay? It raises the vibration of the entire universe, right? So everything that you do right now is mirroring out into the universe right now. So mirror some good vibes, right? I don't know if I have my TikTok side about me section all kind of filled out properly, but have fun with that. Check out my link tree, like I said, and kind of go from there. Thank you for the likes. Wow. Hey. Y'all are awesome. So, like I said, for the unschooling today, we're going to run through Tasty Tuesday. Like I said, we're going to do meal plan in order. For those of you who aren't into that, I hope you have a wonderful day. But for the rest of you, go check out my other social media if this is not your topic. All up here. For those of you who are on my Twitch, it's all in the About Me section. And for those of you who are watching this on YouTube later, come follow me. The transfer over of the multi-streaming and everything like that, like I said, you guys are going to have to be as real and authentic as possible. That's what they're looking for. If you want to become famous and you want to do all this stuff, that's what you're going to have to look at. Yes, AI is the future, but you are ultimately the future. So, all of that data that they're collecting from all the background and all this stuff, that's what they need. So they're going to push you in front. as much as you're feeding it. Okay? Ride that AI wave into your future. Um, so, anyways, PDF in Canva will be live probably by the end of this year. I wanted to have it live by the end of this month, but it's not going to happen. So, hope y'all are having a good day. Let's see. I don't know why the alert thing is not showing. It's crazy. Thank you. Wow, there's a lot on here. Hope y'all are having an awesome day. So a 3 second scroll rate is a 1.5 second decision making. Okay, so for those of you who are in business, think that way. For those of you who are in social media, also think that way. But you're gonna have to do bursts. You're gonna have it to where inside, whether it's your phone or some kind of multi-posting tool, remember to scrub your information. If you're gonna have it posting, you're gonna have it consistent. Remember, there's time zones in different parts of the world. So everybody's going to see things at different times during the day. Don't think, oh, well, 9 a.m. is the only posting time. No, it's not. Y'all already know this. AI is now your competition, okay? And AI is 1,000 times more better than any of us, right? So in order for you to get your information out there, you're going to have to take that AI wave through it. Everything that they're looking for, you're going to have to push all your stuff out that way. And again, they're changing stuff, so you're going to have to be more real so they can pull that information from you, okay? They don't want static images. They don't want text and images. I mean, I know I've got this, but they really don't want that. We've kind of inundated and saturated most of these social media sites with that just to kind of get us to the next level. But we're at the next level now. So we already have that original posting. We already have that original information. Now we're going to the next step. Everything that we did in a year is now going to be done in 3 months. 6 months maybe if you're lucky. So your day to day is going to be hour to hour. It's going to be minute to minute because of the fact that that's your decision making time. Your 3 second scroll time. 3 seconds. That's how much time you have to be seen. Right now, there's 28 viewers in this thing right now. I guarantee you here in the next minute, half of those will be changed out. Tell me if I'm wrong. That's how fast it has to be. There was a lady that was selling clothes, and she showed one piece of clothing every 3 seconds, and overnight she became a millionaire. Overnight. Crazy. So, think that way when you're thinking social media. Yes, everything has changed. We've gone into a new level. There's new demons here. New levels, new devils. So, keep an eye out. Don't take all, yes, be aware of the information that's coming across your supposed little circle table of life, but in the meantime, make sure that you're keeping up with the background noise that's going on also. So when you have your baseline of what the already every day, now you're adding a little bit more information. You're taking that DNA train, your little passenger on your little DNA train going through the circle DNA of life, and you're picking and pulling little bits of information as you're going. So you're going to dive a little bit deeper into these Alice holes of information on the side as you're moving along through this process. You do have a baseline that you're working with. You already had it. Past 5 years, you've been it. So now, next level that shit. It's that plus one next level. Okay? So everything that you were doing before, keep doing that. Don't forget to do that. Now just add another little bit to it. Go into stories. Go into another access point within each one of these platforms. If you haven't already touched a center point inside of each one of the platforms, as well as other side notes that are in there, you need to go do that. You need to start posting not just your regular, but now a little bit more into each one of these, because that's what they're looking for. They're looking for motion. They're looking for more. AI is always going to need more, just the same as us humans. We always crave more. What do you think we made AI? AI is us. It's 2% error because we're 1% error. Ride that wave. Okay? So, and I know most of TikTok and all the social medias are talking about this right now. It's a really hot topic for all the algorithm changes and blah, blah, blah. Get ahead of it as much as you possibly can. And even if you're a little bit behind, that's totally fine. If you're just now starting social media, you never know. You might end up being the one that gets picked out of all of us. Who has no idea? None of us know the future. But I do know that you guys can do this. I have faith in all of you. And I need you to believe in yourselves enough to do whatever it is that you're doing or whatever you're thinking, even if you think it's stupid. Do it. Okay? No matter what industry you're in, if you're a business manager, CEO, or if you're homeless. I don't care. Whatever thought that it is that you have in your mind that you think that you have been given this thought for a reason, do it. Okay? Start using your intuition a little bit more. When you ever get a hit, like a thought or an idea that comes into your mind, you think it's stupid, or, oh, well, that's been done a million times, or, oh, I don't feel like doing that. Cringe, right? Do it. Trust me. Also, all of your past several years worth of information and content that you already have is your ads for future content. It's also your thank yous to the people who have joined you on this journey, right? No matter what industry, no matter where you come from, no matter what country you live in, this all can work for everyone, okay? No matter where you are in the world or what your background is, what your belief system is, I don't care. Utilize the information that I'm getting whatever way that you're receiving it, okay? And it doesn't have to be one specific way. It could be any way. There is no one way. We're multiverse. Think multiverse. Think multidimensional. Think multifaceted, because that's what you are. You are a gem. You just are under a lot of pressure right now, or having a lot of heat, or whatever the words are, right? You're going to have other people work with you to mold you and to take away the parts of you that you don't need anymore. It's going to take time. It's going to take you being consistent and finding the little edges here and there and pivoting whenever you need to, or staying the course however you need to. It's all up to you. Like I said in my streams, as well as on my social media, the 5D is the ethers. The zeros and the ones is everything. Your halo is the zero. Within all of us, we have the power, a superconductor power point inside of all of us that makes us the one true creator. Okay? Every thought that you have in your mind is brought to you for a reason. Whether you decide to let it go through your halo, your portal, whatever you want to call it, into your 3D. Okay? Every single thing that we have experienced in this lifetime was a thought from someone else. Ancestors, decades, right? So you're given these thoughts for a reason. Now, if they're negative, that's something you need to process. If it's positive, that it's something that you need to bring into the world. Okay? And don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to think that, oh, I think differently than everyone. Oh, the whole society is for the past several decades has told me to shut up and not talk about all my problems and not make mistakes, and, oh, I have to be perfect and blah, 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 blah. No, you don't. You're a human being. Remember that. Okay? Every single person on this planet makes mistakes. Every single person on this planet has negative thoughts. I don't care who you are. You can lie to me all you want to. It's the fact of what you do with them. Okay? And I want you to use anything that's negative in your life, for fuel, for your fire, so you can do better for yourself, as well as doing better for other people. Okay? And this is my advice for myself as well. This isn't just me talking to y'all. This is literally me mirroring myself, okay? I'm kind of like getting on myself about stuff. So don't think that it's me getting on y'all. It's just advice, and then a lot of people don't want to listen to advice. So I suggest that you listen to the advice of people who are older than you, as well as people who are younger than you. Listen to the people that are your age, that are going through the same things that you are, or not going through the same things that you are. Ask questions to all of them. All of them. So you can get a full freaking view of how this world really is. Granted, yeah, there's a little bit of lie and truth and all of that, but you need to find your true north. You need to find your path through all of this. And it's going to change, it's going to alter. So, and the world is going to change. You're going to have to keep up with the changes in the world, not just in your own personal world, not in your own mind, but in the world around you. And that's another aspect of being multidimensional. We have our inner world within our mind. We have our outer world, which is our current local outer world, our orbit, right, within our circle of life. Then we have our next level onion layer of external world associates and like coworkers and like other people, right? And then further out to the rest of the world and the universe. Okay? All of those layers are mirrored within yourself. And I always say, try to be as self-centered. Not like that, but centered in yourself enough to know what is allowed within your bubble. What is allowed within your world. And reevaluate that every once in a while. So, do the best you can every day. Take a half a day at a time. Just keep breathing, please. And, you know, just do the best you can. That's all we really can do every single day, is just be ourselves. Because if you try to be somebody else, you're always going to fail. It's not part of your frequency. You can't copycat. You have to be yourself. Granted, you can do what others do in your own way, but you can never be that other person. You can never be whatever it is that you're seeing, because that's your external world. You can just be yourself. If you choose to take the path of something similar and doing it in your own way, then it's always going to be successful. You're not going to have success off of someone else. Granted, yeah, maybe slightly, for those of you who are super smart and know loopholes and stuff like that. But for the most part, that ultimately is not going to be successful long term. You will be successful long term because of the fact that you are yourself at all times, as much as possible. And you always ask, oh, well, I don't really know what I am or who I am. That's for you to decide. Remember what I said? You're the creator. You're the observer in this world that's around you. Take a step back and sit in your little bubble of existence for a moment and realize that everything that's happening in this world is outside your bubble. You only allow in what you want in that little world of your own. Okay? People, places, things, emotions, energies. So, thoughts even. If you have a bad thought, say nope. Nope, not today, Satan. So, anyway. And for those of you who, and this is going to be a touchy subject, like to utilize your dark side, please use it in a way that's beneficial. Not anything negative towards yourself or towards others. Please, I ask of you. I beg of you at this point. But yeah, you can actually utilize your dark side as a way to empower your light side. Not a lot of people know that. A lot of people fail at doing that because they allow that negative aspect of themselves to kind of take over. So don't do that. But they do have cookies. Just kidding. Alright, so getting back on topic here. I tend to go off on tangents. Tasty Tuesdays, meal planning. For those of you who are not into the whole unschooling thing, I'm actually going to be getting into the next steps of it. So for those of you who have not checked out my other social media, go ahead and do so. I do have seller sites as well, have clothing on eBay, etc., etc. Let's see, blah, blah, blah. As well as regular everyday social sites, and I go live pretty much every day, and now I'm starting to go live on multiple platforms. So feel free to check that out. Also, feel free to ask me anything. I may or may not answer it. depending on what it is. Let's see. Um, okay, so going back into this, I kind of don't know how to like split screen this. Here we go. Maybe I could do this. I'm not comfortable entirely with this program just yet for TikTok, so sorry I can't split screen it because there's too much like information transfer that could happen because of the split screen. I don't have it set up properly yet, but I will. I will look into this today and try to figure this out a little bit more, so this way I can share my screen with you guys. For those of you who do not have TikTok Studio, um, try to like go into your settings. For those of you who are on, clearly you're on TikTok. For those of you who are capable of doing this, check out your settings. I think it's like down in here somewhere. And see what other things you can click on. That's what I did. I just went in to the monetization side, and I just started clicking on stuff, and it started sending me information. So the more that you're interested in different aspects of the site, the more it's going to feed you. Remember, it's going to feed you the stuff that you're looking for because it's algorithm based. Okay, so if you want to keep a certain niche, I suggest keeping your search bar as free and clean as possible if you want to have the trending topics, or like products and stuff like that. I don't know about like samples. I did get 2 free samples sent to me from the seller side, but since then I have not been able to find an actual free product that wasn't refundable after purchase. I don't know if there's a certain amount of free products that they do offer for those who are on TikTok. You don't have to have a certain setup, I don't think. Just go in there and check and see if you have the ability to make commissions off of a showcase. Okay, so you don't have to have the product. You don't have to have it in-house. You can have a showcase, which is drop shipping. You can add the product to your showcase on TikTok, and people can purchase those items through your showcase, which is basically like your shop, right? And then you get a commission off of those sales. Granted, it's like $1 or 2, maybe 5, but those add up after a while. And if you're the type of person that is into selling, that would do great for you, especially first-time TikTok users that don't have a whole lot of followers. I think it is still available. You might want to look into that. But I've noticed and I only have 3,000 viewers, or 3,000 followers. I have not reached that 10,000 yet to become, next level monetization. But as a first time 3,000 follower TikToker, I was given a lot to start with. Unfortunately, because of my address change, I ended up having to lose out on time on some of them. But I actually just recently changed it, and I just started adding stuff to my showcase. I think I made a mistake and added 2 perfume the same one. But anyway, I just started doing that. As well as like my seller sites, I don't have a whole lot of product on there because I just started doing it. Same thing with some of my social media. I have not learned. I'm the type of person that I have to learn as much about the background of a program before I can dive into it. But I went ahead and did it. I did the opposite of what I normally do. So me diving into social media when I first started out, I just started adding things and just started posting the same picture on every single one of my social medias. Well, now I realize, over time that people don't want to see the same exact thing on all your social medias. So you need to, when you're multi-posting, you need to post different items on different things. And that's why I say utilizing your old content, taking screenshots, taking clips, taking every bit of information out of stuff that you used to have. I mean, most of you guys have been streaming or been doing social media for at a minimum of 5 years. So, or at a minimum of a year maybe. Maybe you guys just started, or you haven't even started yet, or maybe you just now got on TikTok or Twitch or whatever, and are able to start using these things. Well, I didn't know anything about all of these. Thank you. So when I first came into this, I just kind of like threw it all out there and was like, sink or swim, here we go. And then I started doing things. I started becoming interactive in my community. I started going to live shows and streaming the live shows, taking pictures and videos and promoting people. I actually went out and started collaborating with other photographers. I actually have two professional photographers as well as a videographer that I've worked with in the past and plan to work with again in the future. I just haven't recently because I have personal things going on. But, I just by getting yourself out there really does give you that networking ability to start living the life of your dreams. Now, don't get me wrong, financially is always an issue for everybody. I know this. If you are able to be sponsored or if you have people that are willing to help you on your path, leave that opportunity open. Get you a Cash App, get you a Venmo, get you whatever it is. This is a popular thing now, especially like PayPal, stuff like that. Have pay sites where you can have people donate to you, or even better yet, have wish lists as part of your advertising, where your wish list is specifically what you're wanting for your future. People are out there that are willing to and want to help you on your path. Just because the people that are around you are not very supportive of you or may look down on you if you ask for help, that doesn't mean that the rest of the 8 billion people of this world are not willing to help you, even just a little bit by advice at the very least. Giving good vibes is always a good thing. Praying for people if you believe in that. So, do your thing. And try the best that you can. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Like I said, you can just, whatever. And like I was saying, as far as like getting this content out, even if you did one piece of content for every single social media that you have every hour, are you going to be able to get all that content brand new and fresh? No, of course not. That's the point. You're supposed to intrigue people to your next content. You give them the ads from the old content. Show them the stuff that you used to do. Continue to add to your repertoire or your portfolio, so to speak, and plan it ahead. Get ahead of yourself in a sense. Allow yourself the time and the space to be able to utilize, yes, editing does take time. I know that. It's a nightmare. But if you're able to use all of that, right, it'll give you buffer room to make the new if you can't find funding or don't have the ability to make whatever said blah blah blah. Even though it takes like literally a second to take a picture of anything, for the most part they're not going to want static content. But you can utilize the media that you already have for your ads, for backup. Now with the lives, that's where all your content's going to come from. So go live every single day as much as you can. When you go back to watch that video, take clips, screenshots, whatever you have to do, and put that into your multi-posting tool. Or if you're not using a multi-posting tool, sorry, I have a speech impediment. I also stutter a lot. So if you're not using that and you're utilizing this process that I'm talking about, where you're light touching on each one of your social medias every single day and making sure that you're keeping up with all of them, for those of you who are into that type of thing, even if you're a business owner, making sure that you're light touching from a customer aspect, okay? Go back and watch your content so you can criticize yourself and say, oh, I shouldn't have done that, or oh, hey, I need to do this. It gives you the opportunity to keep pulling something to move forward on. It also, utilizing generators, like for example, aesthetic master list generator. Use that. Use the tools that are available to you, like a color wheel. So this way you don't have to come up with the content yourself specifically. You can get inspiration from anywhere. So, like I said, if bot farms and AI are the competition, you need to start thinking like that. Okay, bot farms have 10 cameras facing them in different angles. Start doing that. If you have an AI that can create these amazing things and amazing features with all this extra jingly bells in the background, do that. You have all the tools available to you. You don't even have to pay for them. Right now, As it is, most social media is free to sign up for. The accessories is where the money's at. And multi-posting and multi-streaming platforms know this. They are leaning into it. So, utilize the free, or cheap as possible, as much as possible. Most of you guys have extra phones laying around that are still connected to all that social media. Use it. You can hook up to Wi-Fi. Most of you guys have Wi-Fi already. If you don't, like say for example, you're homeless, right? If you have a phone of some kind or access to one, you can still do this. You can go, as of right now, most fast food restaurants still allow free Wi-Fi. Or like social hubs, like Starbucks, stuff like that. Now granted, they're not all going to want, influencers all in there at all at the same time, because that would be chaos. But you can utilize the Wi-Fi for now. Granted, all of that stuff's going to change in the future. So, keeping that in mind. Back when I was living in the pop-up camper, I was utilizing old phones for different social medias. 5 years later, I'm still using multiple phones and multiple cameras for social media. I didn't pay in that couple $100 a month to have all of this access that I never use. Because I don't know how many of us sign up for subscriptions for stuff and forget about it. And then we end up wondering, why am I broke? So, you know what I mean? So go back and double check those too while you're at it. And feel free to add me as a subscription. So I am a money magnet. I know of many different ways of utilizing things and thinking outside the box and utilizing algorithms outside of AI in the real world. How programs work, how systems work. Learning, having that knowledge and understanding in the background is going to be the power behind whatever it is that you're doing going forward. So, run with it. Let's see. Thank you guys for the views, by the way. I did not expect everybody to come on here and views. This is awesome. So, like I said, check out Linktree. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much. I kind of now understand what this little thing is blipping for now. Awesome. Thank you. I just now started using TikTok Studio, so I don't exactly know how this all works. It's a process. Isn't it? I mean, I'm probably overthinking this and making it way harder than it absolutely has to be. That's just how I roll. I automatically think the worst case scenario first, the hardest path first, you know. My grandmother used to say all the time, there's the right way, there's the wrong way, and then there's Eve's way. So, yeah. We find our own path and forge it. And sometimes that forging of that path is the sword piercing through the algorithm. So, I hope you guys feel that piercing of me piercing through this fourth wall dimension of whatever. It's just so funny to me that I am sitting here in my living room right now, and I have no idea where any of you are, and all of you are watching me in my living room right now. I hope that wherever you are in the world, that you understand that you're not alone, and that there is a really amazing future waiting for you. You just don't know it yet. And I hope that you start to see it today. I don't know how to, normally on the stream I usually like kick off somewhere in there, and I don't know how to do it here on this live thing. I guess you just stop doing it. But, so yeah. Anyway, I know I've been saying I'm going to get into this meal plan thing for like the past, I don't even know how long I've been live for 45 minutes. Oh my gosh, do people even do that? Awesome. Thank you so much. I do encourage you guys to send gifts to each other, and I do thank you for your support. Awesome. You guys are really, really great. I love One thing that I absolutely loved about like the streaming community is that you can include your kids. You can include the community, the local community of wherever you are. And I want to see more of where you guys are at. I want to see your towns. I want to see what kind of life that you guys live, and I want to compare it. Like I was saying in the stream earlier today, you know, when I was younger, I always wanted to see this little thought bubble above everyone's head so this way I can get a preview of what their life was like so I could understand them better. And now I can do that. I can see you guys through social media or through lives and stuff like that. I want to see your towns before the changes happen. Um, like for example, like if you have a setup to where you can, you know, drive through town, do that. You don't have to have a face. You can do faceless streaming. You can do faceless social media if you want. If you don't want to share your personal information, it's totally understandable. Some of us are a little bit more comfortable being behind the camera than others. And that's okay, because at one point I was absolutely terrified. And I just started doing it. And I started talking to you guys kind of like I talk to myself. And that's really what all started it. Was I got invited to a Twitch stream, and it all kind of kicked off from there officially. But before that, I was already on some social medias. But you know, 2001 or 2021-ish is when I first started streaming. So COVID and isolation and stuff kind of pushed that for most of us, as well as the delivery side of everything. And which I called, by the way, when I was working at Arby's. I said, whoever is in delivery is going to make bank off of this quarantine. And I was right. Amazon made bank, and guess what? Now they have all robots and drones delivering things. Can you believe that DoorDash is delivering by drone now? This is crazy. Like, the future is now, right? The advancements in technology over the past 6 months has been exponential. So, I can only imagine what it's going to look like going forward, but I really am hoping for the best for all of us. I hope that you guys utilize this in a way that we can actually create a utopia. But, along with a utopia causes chaos. So, with all creation there is destruction, and with all destruction there is creation. So, to each their own, right? I just hope it ends up being for the betterment of a lot of people, because I was very terrified of it at first, I'll be honest. So, thank you guys for your likes. That's awesome. You guys really made my day today, I tell you what. I started off the day streaming, doing my makeup. And I've just been kind of rolling since then. So, anyway. Hopefully your advice, my advice gets utilized in a good way. So, let's see. Okay, so meal planning. Sorry, I know I've been talking a lot. It's just part of my nature. Alright. So on my master plan for the meal planning, I already have it printed out. And so we're going to go through, and yesterday was languages, today is meals. I highly suggest getting you something to where you can look through and make sure what you have already. For those of you who are not into meal planning, I hope you have a good day. Unschooling begins now. So, no, it actually began in the beginning, because social media is now part of everyone's daily life, so, for the most part. And I walk through this process every day anyways. So, meal planning, review, inventory, meal plan. Me personally, as well as Jeff, we've been trying to lose weight, like I said. So I'm going to go ahead and take this copy out of my already existing book that I had in my PDF, which will be available soon, hopefully. Also OTD. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to unbury my printer. I try to be as real and raw as possible, but there's are certain limitations that I have to abide by, so unfortunately. Everybody's got rules in this world, even if we think we're above them. Alright, so I'm going to scan and print that real quick. There's that. Inventory, and then also meal plan. Inventory always goes first, then meal plan, then order. There's a reason for this. Let me show you. Alright, so that is the copy. This original. I typically like to write have and need, but I'll be honest with you, right now I'm just trying to get it done, so. And like I said, for the most part in the world today, for you to be able to keep up with everything, it feels like it's impossible, you know, like everything's expensive, everything's chaos, the world's falling apart, the sky is falling, you know what I mean? That dread feeling of like doom talk, right? So, you know, keeping up with your everyday when the world is falling apart around you is hard. So this helps some. And like I said, it only takes a few minutes. It doesn't take very long. So, I just realized I'm on the PC. I'm not on my phone. I can't take you up here in the kitchen. Anyway, alright. So, once you get the inventory done, which I can't do this right now because I can't go in my kitchen. Y'all can check out my Twitch stream for that later, by the way. I'll probably kick off here at 1 hour. So, at least on TikTok. For Twitch, y'all stay here with me. I'll continue on Twitch because I have to walk away from the computer to do this. So, inventory first, then meal plan. I like this meal planner because of the fact that I had the grocery list in it too. You guys don't have to do paper. You guys, for the most part, you guys are digital. So, whatever apps and stuff that you have available, please let me know, because I like new stuff too. Don't gatekeep this. So, so yeah. Alright. I pretty much have, okay, let me just kind of run through it in my mind real quick. We don't have a whole lot. So we have, I know for a fact, let me start, left to right, top to bottom. Left side is cabinets. So, left cabinet is like peanut butters, like canned goods, canned vegetables, pastas, right? So, canned veg, pasta, peanut butter. Just as an idea, just kind of start in your kitchen and start from the left-hand side, going top to bottom, and move your way around. It's a good way to start doing it, right? Whether it's cleaning or doing the inventory or just kind of doing a little review. Maybe you want to do a new decor for summer or something like that. Or maybe you just are tired of seeing the same thing. You know what I mean? If you're renting, for the most part, they do have new videos on YouTube specifically that I can think of where you can have a renting flat look more like a home, or can customize it in ways that are renting approved type things, for example. So you can look into that. Trying to think without having to walk away from the computer. So fridge, you know, milk, what else? Juice, butter. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head, like what we actually have as an example. Eggs, you know, whatever. And then you write the You don't have to do this, but it just gives you a general idea. And then you write the quantity. For those of you who are deeper into this stuff, you know, you can write expiration dates and stuff like that. Try to keep up with it week to week at a minimum, no matter what you have in there, because, you know, botulism and safety first. So you don't want to die from your food, okay? Um, so make sure that, you know, if you do have expiration dates or if it has to be refrigerated, that it's said. So read your labels, please. If we took the labels off of everything in the world, we'd have a lot less people. Uh, and no detergent snack packs either. So um, everyone's like, oh, why not? So based on some of the information that I wrote, like for example, like we do have some meats, we do have some vegetables, we have some pastas. So based off of that, I can make meal plans, right? So I can look up or, you know, Google whatever app thing that you use um, to make the meal plans. I usually start within a generator, which is super fun for me. I enter the information into the generator and I allow the generator to pick my meals for me. So I'll put in like the meats that I have and or like on a different one I'll have the vegetables that I have, or a different one I'll have like breakfast foods or something like that, right? And switch it up. You know, the main question in life is always what's for dinner, right? So sometimes you can't always think of something. Utilizing a generator will help with that. Um, so, say for example, you know, I just want to write as a baseline whatever. Say if you're a meat eater, which not all of us are, your main meal, your main part of your meal, and then your secondary and your third, or whatever you're doing, right? Some of us, we'll be lucky to eat one meal a day. And at the very baseline, that is my mandatory for all of you, one full meal a day. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate as much as possible when you can, especially now in the summertime. Um, and just kind of go from there. You know, make sure that you're washing, not just yourself, but your clothes also. Brushing your hair and your teeth, or your body, whatever you're into. Um, the you know, you have your eating, your hydrating, your brushing, your washing, and sleep. Typically, you're supposed to have a certain amount of hours of sleep every night. It's so your body can rest, but it's also so your body can heal. A lot of people don't think of sleeping as healing, but it does give your body a chance to heal itself in its downtime. So this way, when you are awake and you are up and about, I know a lot of you guys are having to work 2, 3 jobs or more. For those of us who are entrepreneurs, we understand where you're coming from. That constant everyday need and pull. But you have to remember that, and again, being self-centered in a sense, of centering yourself enough to be able to take care of yourself. Self-care is a priority also, as well as safety. And if you don't take care of yourself, you're not going to be safe anymore. Um, so I ask of you guys to take a few minutes every day to just kind of take care of yourself however you feel that you need to, away from the rest of the world. I know a lot of us may not have that opportunity very much, but um, it is out there. Um, and it's required. Like I've said before in the streams, that, you know, if you start leaning a little bit too much into one thing and not looking at the entire pie of life, so to speak, you have, let's just say for example, at a baseline, you have your work, your friends, your family, yourself. When you start leaning a little bit too much into one of these things, all the other stuff is going to start getting messed up. And the number one thing that we don't think about is ourselves. So when you're work, and it ends up taking up a good portion of this, that now you're not even hanging out with your friends, and you're not spending any time with your family, you're not taking care of yourself is going to tell you, because it's going to end up putting you in the hospital. It's going to force that downtime for self-care. So please, put this as a priority in your life. To be a little bit more self-centered. Centered in yourself enough to know that the self-care that you're doing is going to help you in other areas of your life. Okay? Because your external world is a mirror of your internal world. Okay? So your mind, wherever your mind is at, is where the rest of your world's going to be at. Same thing for your surroundings. If you just stop and kind of look at your surroundings, is it a hot mess right now? Is it hard to think straight? Is it hard to understand, what your next steps are? Start cleaning up your surroundings, and you'll start cleaning up your mind. Start getting active. It'll help the blood circulation to your brain, as well as the oxygen that you need to be able to think properly. Nutrients are fuel for your body. It's not just food. Yes, today's society and most of the collective have been force-fed nonsense for decades, whether by whatever topic you want to call it. Try to lean a little bit more towards awareness of self. So this way you can be better in all aspects. And you won't be able to be there for other people if you can't take care of yourself. So try your best to start there a little bit more every day. Just a little bit more. 1% of improvement every day is 365% improved by the end of the year. And if you fail and falter in there, that's okay. You still have the rest of the year. Just try. Keep trying. Where's it going? So, I know, I always go on those little tangents, sorry. ADHD squirrel brain. Anyway. So I'm going to put, say for example, we have sausage, beef, we've got fish, we've got, well actually 2 different kinds of fish, and then pastas and like other stuff, so vegetables, and I grow vegetables every day. So for those of you who are on my TikTok, I think you guys just seen the update, as well as Switch, you just seen the update for the garden. So I planted food around my house, and my neighbor, we coexist, and she plants the flowers. So her whole yard is flowers, my whole yard is food, mostly tomatoes, even though I can't eat red sauce, which is weird. I feel like I just became a tomato farmer within the past couple months. But yeah, so I'm just going to put like meat, veggie day, pasta day, random, kind of leave it open, pizza, that's always an option, and then leave the weekends open, so this way you can do whatever you want with it, right? No. Anyway, keeping up also with finances is another thing that we're going to talk about today. If you know, you know. So, okay, so we got pastas, veggie day, breakfast for dinner. Or supper, or whatever you call it. And then, I'm trying to think. So we did breakfast for supper, we did pizza. Make it however is best for you, if you can. Meats, vegetables, pastas, random, pizza, breakfast, other. I don't know yet. I can't think of anything. So, baseline to get started, right? Then you take the generator and you add the other items. Remember, you're only pulling it from what you already have. This is the reason why I'm doing this process, okay? You're getting the information of the stuff that you already have, and you're making a meal plan from that. Whatever is missing from the meal plan is the only thing that you're going to purchase this order. Hear me out. The only thing that you're going to purchase for this order is what's missing. Okay? This is also going to help in your finances in the long run. The next order is going to replace. Okay? So you're going to replace what you had and only replace what you had. You're only buying what you don't need or what you don't have. Okay? So you're not buying extra of something. It's kind of like a store's inventory when they do their inventory to reorder for their store. They're only going to reorder what's missing. They're not going to reorder the same items over again. A lot of us, we go into the store and we really just kind of go in blank and grab a shopping cart and we hope for the best. Next thing you know, you come out with $300 worth of stuff that you don't even know if any of it is anything of what you were thinking of when you first started. It happens to the best of us. That's why they give you carts at the front and all the main items are at the back. So, smart planning, but, you know, so when the pocket comes along. So say for example, like, I know for a fact that I'm not going to need to buy any milk, so I don't need to add milk. But I am going to have to add items that I would like to add to whatever recipes, right? So I may not have all of the product for the recipe, and that's the only thing that I'm going to purchase. That way it keeps your costs down, and you know exactly where the money is going to, because now you have saved the receipt from the order, or online order, whatever you do. And you know exactly what to put into your budget for your envelope system that you're going to start today. Because I said so. So yeah, when you get that receipt or you have that information online or however you budget, right? You're going to keep that information for the next order. So you know exactly how much you spent, how much money that you're putting into your next envelope for your groceries, and then that way you know exactly how much you'll need next time because you already have the list. You already have the list. You just mark whatever you used and you already have the list. You don't have to make up another list. You already have it. You just flip back and forth between the two. Hopefully you guys understand what I'm saying. Because sometimes when I explain things, it's not very comprehensible. I know I understand it in my mind, but the way I express it may or may not be understandable to most people. So, and I don't know why the chat and all this stuff is not showing up on my screen, but I see it in the little chat bar that's movable on the side, but it says that there's nothing in the actual stream. So it's not giving me alerts. It's only giving me alerts in the background. So for TikTok Studio, I just started today. I'm still kind of leaning into trying to understand how this all works. But it is not giving me notifications, and it's something that I'm going to have to work on in the background somehow. I guess after I'm not live anymore. My next, what is it, challenge or thing that they ask you to do for TikTok Live is to be live for 10 hours straight. For those of you who are on Twitch, y'all have been live all day, every day for years now. So, thank you guys for sharing this stuff with each other. That's really awesome. So, yeah. I'm really glad that you guys are communicating with each other. That's awesome. You can't really see it on the screen. I see it in the background. Y'all can't see it on the screen, but I see it. And I'm giving y'all kudos. Thank you for being awesome to each other. That's really cool. We need more of that in the world today. We need more people who are themselves as much as possible. And now the social media does too. So, anyway. So going into possibly coupons, discount sites, printable coupons, apps, in-store apps, dual use like paper and online, or in-store. You can multi-use them. For example, Walgreens will allow you to use the paper copy as well as the digital copy, and if you're an employee, you can use employee codes. So, kudos to y'all at Walgreens. The rest of y'all need to be like that. So, if there are other apps and stuff like that that do have that accessibility, let me know. For those of you who are going through shops and buying directly, even if it's at a discounted rate already, I'm pretty sure that future forward shopping is going to be very different than old school shopping. Like, pretty much anything in the past 20 years is going to be completely different now. It's going to be upgraded. So, like I said, as far as like back in the day, we used to coupon clip. Well, now they have an app for that. They have an app for everything, right? But now that stores, the brick and mortar stores, are involved in that as well. So try to utilize every aspect that you possibly can, especially nowadays, where inflation has gone up. I think it's like 82 or 85% since 2020. That's insane. Nobody can live like that. So I'm hoping that with this whole AI push that things start becoming a little bit more available and a little cheaper, but I highly doubt it. Um, you would think that if you're not having to pay for wages anymore, if you're utilizing complete robots and AI everything, that everything, the price would drop, right? Right? Yeah. Wishful thinking. Um, so maybe, who knows? Maybe now with everything going to robot manufacturing, um, with the dark factories and stuff, especially in North Carolina. If any of you live in North Carolina, have fun enjoying your new dark factories and AI everything. Um, so yeah. So if they're able to utilize that in a way that's positive for people, that's what I'm really leaning and hoping for. But nobody knows. So, um, but if you have the ability to use those, then great, go for it. If you can share it with others, let them know. Try your best not to gatekeep. If you get information, try to share it with others. I know there's a ton of information that's being processed through everyone's brains right now, and it's going to go a lot faster. You'll start noticing, well, from now until like mid-August, everything's going to get all fucked up because of retrograde, right? But in the meantime, we can kind of lay low underneath that retrograde radar and continue building on our purpose, right? So, with the world the way it is today, finances are really tough for a lot of people. So, local resources is not a topic that was really pushed before, especially in people who had jobs and, lived normal everyday lives, right? Now they got pushed into a different bracket. Um, so, local resources is no longer a dirty word, so to speak. Start utilizing those. For those of you who don't have to utilize local resources, I'm begging you to please support them however you can, either by finances or by supporting them by utilizing the ability to donate food or clothing, household goods. If you have yard sales and you have leftover from your yard sale and you just want to donate it, think more local resources rather than corporate. Okay? And I know I'm saying this and I'm kind of cutting my own throat in that sense because of the fact that I purchase my thrifting items through local thrift stores that you guys donate to. Yes, I know I'm like hurting myself in that aspect, but the need is more out there for like places like DSS or Child Services, rehoming places like shelters, um, furniture and stuff like that. Personal home items are always in need, especially appliances, electronics, stuff like that. That you can donate to a place like that. Think outside the box of the norm of the everyday. Okay, local resources are things that we're going to have to lean on a little bit more as time goes by. So make sure that you're investing into those. I'm personally requesting that each company, each corporation, invest at a minimum of 1% into your local resources. And no, I did not stutter. Food pantries, co-ops, trade offerings, discount or government programs are all ones that you guys can look into. You can also give or donate to shelters. Schools are now in with this as well. Their clothing as well as food pantries are available in most schools nowadays, as well as food programs during the summer. This is only done by local resources as well as people donating. So please consider into that. I know for a fact that I have personally in my past with my own children utilized sources through the school system for food as well as clothing and personal items. So don't be afraid to ask for help, and also don't be afraid to give help as much as possible. DSS, local communities, and consider a free-for-all. If you can't sell it, give it away, right? Uh, and so, like I said, utilizing local resources and being able to support them, investing in them is really crucial to all of our future, okay? We need to keep our baseline above water, just the same as every other aspect of business or life in general. You know, there's certain requirements as a baseline that we all have to meet. And I hope that you guys are able to lean a little bit more into that going into the future. Numbers review, uh, basically just going over personal learning. I know for a fact that Khan Academy, Khan Academy, is funded solely by others. And it is an amazing website for you guys to go check out. It is a free learning website for any age. And I'm talking, it is the most, for at least unschooling or homeschooling, that's the one that I leaned more towards. I actually use that in my unschooling, in my streams. So I'm not sponsored by them naturally. I'm not sponsored by anybody. But I am going to enforce and encourage sites for you guys to check out as much as possible and to donate to them. So this way we can continue to use them, and that way they can continue to give us the things that we need. Education at a baseline is not available for all people until they're able to access the internet. Internet is not accessible in all areas yet. Most of the satellite usages as well as cable lines underground are going to end up mirroring back Wi-Fi in the future. Once we go 6G, 7G, whatever you want to call it, Wi-Fi is going to be available to everyone everywhere on the planet. The problem is that's frequency, and so it's going to be affecting all of us differently. So don't be surprised if you start seeing people acting strange in the future. But for right now, access to information is key and vital for educational purposes, right? The thing is making sure that that information is accurate. So fact checking has been a thing for Facebook for a while now, but now it's our own turn to start fact checking for ourselves. Like I said, AI is going to blur the line between reality and AI. It's going to be really hard to distinguish what's real and what's not real anymore. So finding more information is going to be crucial for your success in your life going forward. One of the aspects that we were looking at was business administration, because like I said, we were trying to become entrepreneurs by the end of the year, going into the new year, and we're keeping receipts to get an idea, so this way we can start looking at aspects of accounting, and again, budgeting, personal budgeting, not just business-wise, but personally. So this way you can start keeping track of things, and you can start looking at getting a hold of more aspects of your life and getting more control in your life. Once you start getting a little bit more understanding and knowledge on things, you're literally going to be building your own backbone with knowledge. And it's going to empower you in a way for you to be able to move forward with the strength behind it. Okay? Knowing the rules and algebraic expressions of life, applying that knowledge baseline, as well as additional information gathering, utilizing pivot points, and tracking current versus baseline. Remember, that always changes. You have that up and down, whether it's in stocks or if it's in Bitcoin, or emotions personally, or just things that are happening in the world. It's always that up and down. Future look for goals, plans, and predictions. Make your own prediction for your life. If you already have goals and plans set in place, make a prediction for it. Bet on yourself. Write yourself a check for your future self. Okay? Talk to your child self. That's a key one too. That's hard. Worst case scenario versus best case scenario. You want to look at the pros and cons in all things. Remember, the weaknesses is your strong point. That's the lowest that you're going to be, is your weakness. And that is your strength in knowing that, because you can only go forward from there. What steps do you have to take to get to the next level? I even have a tattoo of this. I don't know if you can really see it that well. There's a bunch of little dots and a little squiggly line going up to a big red X. This is all of the missing steps that took me to where I am today. And those are the missing steps that I'm going to need to learn to get to where I want to go. Okay? And those are the ones that you're going to have to find on your own personal path. Advice and questions. You can give advice. Tell people about your path and what you went through. Tell them how it affected you personally, how it affected your mind and your thoughts. Tell them how it changed your world, whether it's positive or negative. Give advice to others as to what they can do for their next steps. Don't forget that we're not gatekeeping here. We're helping. We're helping each other get along, because by helping other people, you're going to be helping yourself. Okay? Asking questions. Don't be afraid to ask those hard questions. The ones that make you kind of feel a little uncomfortable or super cringe. You know what I mean? Ask them, because without that knowledge, you're never going to know. And it's going to constantly keep cycling. You don't want to stay stuck up here. Okay? You want to keep the flow of movement happening. Just like money is like water, the same thing with thoughts, emotions, energies, frequencies. It's all the same thing. It's just allowing that to be able to keep moving. And if you keep staying stuck in your mind and in your head about these negative things, or, worries or things that weigh you down, you're not going to be able to get to that next level. That's why I say self-care is so important. You have to take care of yourself mentally, physically, so this way you can take your external to the next level. What are the actual next steps? This is a hard one for you to ask yourself. When you sit here in that little bubble of space and you take yourself away from the rest of the world for just a moment, and you get inside your head and you ask yourself, what are the actual next steps that I need to take to do whatever it is that I need to do? Not what everybody else is telling me. Not what the world is telling me. Not what my friends, family, kids, partner, nothing. You. What are you telling yourself for your next steps? It's going to come to you. And you may not know it right away. If you have to, take a piece of paper. Get something to write with. Or even if it's outside, do it in the sand. Or dirt, or wherever you're at. And start drawing. Doodling. Blah, blah, blah. It doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't even matter what it is. You don't have to look at it. Just stay here for a minute. All of a sudden you start to notice thoughts will come into your mind. Ideas. Things that you were thinking about a long time ago. It's that daily shower thought, you know what I mean? And then you'll start to see the next steps of what you need to do. Try it. Then you can sell that. This is artwork. It's abstract. Keep that mind flowing, guys. Come on now. Reduce, reuse, and remove. Another part of actual next steps is removing this shit that's too heavy, right? Reduce as much as you possibly can. Look at your surroundings, like I said. If there's too much stuff in your surroundings, start to remove just a couple. One thing. Take one thing. Take it off. Throw it away. How do you feel? Did it change your whole world? Or did it just make you feel a little different? Now your brain's starting to wonder, what's missing? So now it's going to start putting something in that place. New ideas. The wonderful thing about the power of 4. You have the truth, the lies, the answer, and the nothing. Okay? You know the truth. You know the lies. You know the answer already. But it has to come from the nothing. It has to come from non-existence through you, through your portal, which is your mind, into your reality, even if it's just by dribbling it down, right? Reduce as much negativity out of there as you possibly can, so this way you can get to the next step. Reuse things. If you have something that you really, really love, but for some reason it got broken or damaged, or it's just old and, you're not real sure how to use it, or maybe you got something, or, you know, maybe you're just like, oh, well, perfect example, wardrobe. Um, Say, for example, you have the same exact wardrobe for the past however many decades, but you feel like doing something different. So go into that wardrobe, take one item out of there, and cut it up. Y'all are like, oh my god, she's crazy. Yes, I am. Make it into something new. Reuse it. Especially something that you don't need anymore, hasn't been in your closet for forever, right? Unless you have like a personal memory to it, then maybe not so much. But anyway, you know, you have old T-shirts that have emblems on them. And they're cluttering up your closet. Cut them all down and make a pillow. Stuff all the other extra of whatever the shirt was, right? All the extra material in. Make a pillow. Reuse stuff. And remove, like I said, remove negative thoughts. Tell them no. Tell them that I don't have room for these negative thoughts. I only have room for the good stuff in my life. Okay? Start there. Start saying no. No is a complete sentence. No is a boundary. And a lot of people hate that shit. They hate it. Okay? Sorry for the cussing. But, you know, understand where your boundaries lay. You know, you have that little 6-foot bubble. People are going to try to push in that little 6-foot bubble and get in your face. No, no, no. Not in my bubble. Not today. Clean as you go. Kayak. C-A-Y-G. Usually you hear this in food services. But you can also do this with yourself, your mind, as well as your surroundings. Okay? And try to remember that, like I said, evolution continues forward. So you're going to have to clean as you go. You're going to have to keep up with things as you go. You're going to have to let go of things as you go. And yeah, those things that you let go might pop back up later. Sorry. So yeah. Just, that's even business administration, but I'm talking in general, right? Keep that cycle of things going, that algebraic expression that it reminds you every single day of what it is that your next steps are. Perfect example if you're talking about business, like I said, business administration. This goes in every aspect of life, so utilize it however you feel you need to. I have to make sure that what's on here is accurate. Okay, so we have aspects of business, right? First aspect of business is to put everything into a trust. You can do business loans this way as well. Next step is to buy, right? You have your products, you have your equipment, you know, land if you have to. Next step is drop shipping, or shipping of some sort. You have your shipping aspect of it, which goes into all of this, right? You have your products, you have your shipping. Even if you're drop shipping, you still have the shipping aspect of it. Then you lean into processing, right? You have your main processing ideas as far as getting it out there, right? You have your workers, etc. You have your stations, which could be like a shop, like a brick and mortar. Your business building, let's just say, right? Or for those of you who are online, your website. Then you have housing, right? So you have your own personal house, as well as if you have like an Airbnb. You have your workers, right? Well, how are you, which is you also, how are you going to be able to house those workers? Are you going to be able to get them back and forth to wherever they are needing to go, which is your shipping, which is your own personal vehicle, by the way. Your housing is also a write-off in business. So your shipping and everything is all a write-off. Every single aspect of this is a write-off. Most businesses work in this way. So which housing goes back into your trust at the end of life, which is not a will. It doesn't go into probate. You can allocate specifics, so there's no arguing over family members. You cut all that out. aspects of life as well as in business. Okay? Run at a loss if you have to. Keep yourself at 10% off the top. Do 1% better every day. That's the baseline for life. Use it however you need to. Insurance is now an aspect in all areas of life. My question is, who owns the insurance company? What insurance covers all of it? Personal versus business. My personal question is, why is insurance and corporations umbrellaing everything, at least in the United States? No matter what industry, and also taxes on everything. On everything. On everything. On everything. So, your overhead needs to stay as close to zero or in the negative as possible. Products, housing stations, or if you have to, cycles in streaming. Outbound is like loans, insurances, write-offs is supplies, space, buildings, housings, paying your own workers, which could be yourself or your kids if you need to. Gas and vehicles, all are write-offs. All are able to get a business loan for. Meals per person per day. Internet and cell phone is also a write-off. So think of it this way. All of those little receipts and stuff that you're keeping right now, or aspects of your finances that you're looking at, or where you're at, if you're a streamer, why don't you have a business loan? Why don't you have a business name? Why don't you have all of this underneath that? Okay? You can write off every single aspect of your life right now if you were to do that. So open a business. Get an LLC if you have to. Open up a trust. Talk to the bank. Ask them what the next steps are. Oh, I've got crappy credit or no credit at all. Okay. Go to the bank and find out what the steps that you need to take to get to where you need to be. You're not going to sit back and sit here and say, oh, well, I don't have it. They're just going to tell me no. If they tell you no, you're no worse off than you were when you walked in. Go anyway. Go talk to someone who has already been in the position that you want to be in. Like, say if you have a manager that has the position that you want, go talk to them. Ask them how did they get it, right? That's always we ask celebrities and we ask people who go viral, how did you do it? How did you do it? That's the first question that everybody asks. Yes, their path is going to be different. Your path will be different. But it helps to get the information, right? It may end up helping you in the long run by having that conversation. Or maybe something that you did will help them. Okay? Time and travel, additional costs, everything. Everything is included in this. So I don't understand, even for myself, granted, my credit just dropped 200 points in the past couple of months. But it's my own damn fault. So, and taking accountability for yourself and accepting your own apology, is crucial to the beginning steps of this. So apologize to yourself for all the things that ever happened, and forgive yourself for that. So this way you can start the healing process so you can move forward. Even if it's in business, even if you're a business owner, this is just notes now going into this, but I'm talking about eBay and nonsense. Khan Academy, additional courses that I did choose. Right now we're talking about pre-algebra because, like I said, I have a 4th grade math. Pre-algebra is what we're working on. It's to be continued. The other options that I did take, like I said, business administration, financial literacy, micro and macro economics, intro to computer science, high school physics, as well as psychology. Psychology was a summer course that I'm going to be taking online, and this is all free, okay? This is free from Khan Academy. Go check it out. Like I said, I'm not sponsored. Khan Academy, go check it out. It is an educational platform, and for any age. Doesn't matter how old you are, you can still learn, okay? Old dogs can learn new tricks, right? Actual budget, going into review, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and pull up another website that I utilize. It's called Every Dollar. It is a budget tracking system that is free for you guys to use. It is from Dave Ramsey's. So if you guys are into that, kudos. If not, tell me about another one. But this is the one that I'm using. Right now, everydollar.com is free. You can actually have your kids on there as well, utilizing it for their aspects for their budgeting. I know a lot of people are pushing into, their kids having access for finances and for stock markets and bitcoins and all these other things that people normally wouldn't have thought of before. But thinking about the loopholes that are legal to run through while all these events are happening is going to be crucial for your success also. So, but keeping up with yourself is really the baseline of it all. So cash envelope binders, I currently have an A6 binder that I have utilized, and I took regular envelopes and I just hole punched them. You can get this on Amazon, you can use my link. So I've labeled my envelopes personal, 10% off the top. My kids, 1, 2, 3, 4, my fiance. Household, selling supplies, thrifting, and debts. These are some of the examples of envelopes that you can utilize. You can make them into separate envelopes. I do have a separate one for my bills. I don't have it written in yet, but I am using this one for my bills, and as well as future plans. So one day when I do finally get to the point of being able to do multi-posting through a platform, I'll be able to sync my funds into that. So I keep up with the financial part of it online as well as in paper form. I do all of my stuff like that, just in case of personal home emergency. I have backup digitally. Internet issue, I have backup paper-wise. So I always keep both as much as possible. Label categories, and don't forget to recount your money for accuracy. Now this is for a cash envelope system. You do not have to use the paper form of this. They also have an online version of this for your wallets. Your banking will offer this as well. Some of the apps and websites and stuff like that, they do actually offer this now because it's pretty popular. Build more towards your goals, whether it's for your household or if it's personal or business, whatever. Make your own personal challenges, like for example, pay off a debt. One other is like a 50-50 where you can save money in a specific amount and you can check it off. It's a little printout that you can do. And it's like it has a certain amount of numbers in there that ends up that once you're done checking off all those boxes and putting the envelope or the money in each one of those envelopes, mind you, it could be $1, it doesn't matter. That by the end of the time that sheet is filled, that you have $5,050 saved up. Another thing that I personally started doing along with my weight loss program for recently with the challenge between Jeff and I of the losing the 30 pounds is I did a roundup savings within my Cash App to be able to utilize the roundup that I would have given Goodwill from my dollar purchases for my thrifting for my seller site. I'm rounding that money up to myself to basically like reward myself that when I meet that 30-pound goal, I can use whatever is in that savings account for whatever I want. It doesn't matter. It's just a reward for meeting a goal. And at the same time, my purchase towards my seller site is still happening, but my roundup that would have gone to a corporation is now going to me. Remember to fund yourself. Invest in yourself. Instead of investing on all of these other companies, all of these other places, all of these other things, invest in yourself. Make yourself the corporation. Start with yourself. Your mind is the top tier penthouse of a corporation. And you're the owner. Anything can come from here. Make sure that your plans and goals are set, and that way you have the steps that you need to get there. Make sure that you're keeping up with those steps so this way you can look long term but also look instant. And your sinking funds are independent to each of you. So depending on what categories that you have, when you first start coming into the envelope savings challenges or systems, it's a little tricky at first, and you kind of really don't know where to go. You have to start with your own personal bills, and then whatever your wants are. So your needs first, and then your wants. Okay, your wants are your sinking funds. Your needs are your first. Your bills, your fixed, your variables. Those are the first. So your fixed bills are the ones that you pay the same amount of money to every single month. Your variables are the ones that kind of lean, like gas, groceries right now is still a variable. At a baseline, could be, fixed, but, for the most part. And then, if you have any kind of maintenance items and stuff like that, you can put that in your sinking funds, or you can put it in your variables. Either way. Subscriptions are monthly, so that's fixed, unless it's one of those subscriptions that changes. Right now it seems to be pretty stable. So those are just examples. Sinking funds is something that you want. So you know for a fact that you're going to need maintenance either on your house, your vehicle. Any main purchase item is always going to have an accessory maintenance to it. Fair warning. So make sure that you're able to put something forward into that for a little bit of a cushioning. Even if it's a couple dollars. Even if you can just utilize a roundup system. So that way, or maybe even have it to where your paycheck gets split to your savings and your checking, and you don't even look at it. Like, don't even, make a challenge for yourself. I'm not going to look at my savings account for the rest of the month. I'm just going to keep rounding it up, and every dollar that I spend, it's going to round up and put it in my savings. And I'm not even going to look at it. At the end of the month, I'll look at it and see what I got. You'd be surprised how much is actually in there. And how much we waste every single day on just trivial nonsense. Which, sometimes that trivial nonsense is worth it. Anyway, so, that's my first one. Bills, fixed variable, debts, loans, savings and investments, pay periods. You're going to have to look at your pay periods if you do have them. For entrepreneurship, you're going to have to make your own paycheck. Sinking funds goes into your future. Savings challenges also goes into your future. Your monthly goals, same thing. So the main part of your first part of your sinking fund is going to, or not sinking fund, your cash envelope system is going to be your bills. So those you already know, for the most part, right? The baseline. So just run with that first, and then anything that comes to mind later, you can add that later. But just getting something on the board first is what's most important. Other categories include, like I said, kids, an extra savings, emergency savings account, which is really crucial. You need to have it a minimum in there, something in case if you don't have a job, which is very possible for a lot of people right now. So this is why I'm encouraging this at this moment. House, yard, I know I invest in my yard. Vehicle, groceries, like I said, different categories. Kitchen, household could be kitchen, living room, office, bathroom, washroom, yard, garden, bedroom, storage, vehicles. Another part of it, the categories could be holidays, vacation time if you guys are into doing that. Let's see. Personal items could be like phone, medical, clothes, shoes, makeup, toiletries. You could add a category for pets, for food, litter, snacks, garden, compost. For me personally was like topsoil, fertilizer, containers, which I ended up using drink containers anyways. Yard for me was seed. We needed to reseed leaf grass. Vehicle, your constant's going to be, your fixed item is going to be your insurance, but your variable is going to be your gas. Your sinking fund is your maintenance, registration, tags, taxes, any kind of updates that you need done to your vehicle. As far as for those of you who have electronic vehicles, I'm not familiar with that, but I know that you guys have certain things that you have to meet, like certain requirements that you have to meet. Going future forward in automotive industry is going to be less mom and pop shop, more industry driven, corporatized mom and pop shops that are now umbrellaed by the corporation or by the manufacturer. And those mom and pop shops are probably going to, for the most part, disappear because of the fact that the vehicles are going to be driving themselves back to the manufacturers to be fixed. It cuts out a lot of business, okay? Just be aware of that. Most of the vehicles will now be made mandatory, or specific tools only mandatory per vehicle, per area of vehicle. The sensors are the main ones. All of the things and the accessories and the blips and bloops and clicks in here and flipping switches and buttons, that's all going to break down at some point. And guess who needs to fix it? You. So who are you going to go to? Who are you going to call? Da-da-da. Manufacturer. Or sometimes you won't even have to call the manufacturer, because your car is just going to up in the middle of the night dis-a-freaking-peer and drive itself back to the dealership because it needs tires that they charge to your card because your card's attached to it automatically. So, not to be all fear-mongering, but it's the truth. Anyway, so I actually found some really cool printable cash envelopes, but those of you who like to do the whole digital world, YouTube that stuff, because I don't know anything about it. I was able to go ahead and save forward to my P.O. Box, P.O. Box 5923, Statesville, North Carolina 28677. Yeah, use my name. So you can send me whatever you want, as long as it's able to go to a P.O. Box. So I have that saved aside, so that's good. As far as other finances, I can't walk through them right now because I don't have an income at all, other than if I sell something. So for those of you who are in this world today, and in my world, thank you, and continue to be there, and continue to join me on this journey, and check out my social media, and just letting you know that, like I said before, I am multidimensional. I am multifaceted. I am who I am, and that's all I'll ever be. So continue to just keep breathing and take it half a day at a time. Continue going toward your dreams and your goals. And until I see you next time, I hope you have a wonderful day. And I don't know how to stop the stream. I don't know how to stop it. How do I stop it? This is, oh, here it is. Okay, end live. Alright. Like I said, y'all have a wonderful day, and until I see you again, behave.